I'm not anti-Islam. Both of my parents immigrated from Iran. My uncle and my grandfather, who was a politician during the pre-revolutionary Iran, are Muslim. They prayed 3 times a day. However, this bill does not represent me because I'm not Muslim. So there's kind of a concern there. I would prefer if you have a bill that would commemorate or that would essentially celebrate MENA folks, Middle Eastern, North African, a specific racial or ethnic group, or South African, as a matter of fact. The other concern I have with this bill is this pro-Muslim bill, is it just focused on Sunni, or does it also represent Shia Muslims? Because Iran is a Shia Muslim country. To be clear, I am supportive pro-Islam architecture. Carson City's climate is very identical to Iran. I oppose all discrimination. I sympathize with the Palestinian. However, I believe this is merely pushing identity politics. Notice how there's no day or month celebrating European Americans, men, straight people, Christian, as a matter of fact. Think about it. And if we want to be so pro-Islam, food for thought, I mean, technically every casino would shut down, and we talk about diversity, that trend would actually reverse. Keep that in mind. But other than that, I urge you all to vote no. Thank you so much for allowing to express our concerns.
And thank you for joining us.
I'm Susan Rue, the chairman of the Carson City Republican Party, but I'm here as a proud American, and I deeply oppose AB 278. We have to protect our American way of life. Sweden is now paying immigrants $34,000 to go home because the immigrants do not want to assimilate into their culture. England, Germany, and France are now overrun with the Muslim faith. I appreciate the Muslims we have here in our country that do want to do the right thing, but many of them do not want to assimilate into our country. The law would allow Islam to be shared in our public schools. We don't share Christianity in our schools. What about Judaism? What about, we don't have a month for Native Americans? This past week, the mayor of Paterson, New Jersey, declared the city the 4th most holy city in the world. Paterson, New Jersey, the Mecca of America, Little Palestine, and this is the sign they have up. 4th of July is our month that we celebrate veterans and America. 15 million plus illegals were let into this country under Biden. It's suspected we have over 1,000 or more Islamic terrorists in our country. Where do you think they're hanging out? It's not a matter of when we're going to be attacked, it's just a matter of when. So please, let's think about it. We are a Judeo-Christian country. The most beautiful document ever written was our Constitution, and it's based on Judeo-Christian values. Everyone, please think about this. We need to protect our country. Please stop picking winners and losers, because you are, and vote no on AB 278. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Mr. Chairman, Senators, members of the committee. My name is Graham Barton, Graham Barton. I've been a Nevadan since 2016 and an American citizen since 2017. I am a certified Constitution coach teaching the United States Constitution to my community in my spare time. I have lived and worked in the United States since 2000, following 2 years working in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the heart of Wahhabi Islam and home to the Muslim holy cities of Mecca and Medina. To the sponsors and supporters of this bill, I say that you are telling me you hate the United States without saying you hate the United States. The very idea of a bill designating a whole month as Muslim Heritage Month is not only abhorrent to non-Muslims, but is a resounding insult to all right-thinking, patriotic Americans who are granted just a single day in that very month to celebrate the nation's birth and history. As a constitutional coach, I would also point out that it is an unconstitutional notion, violating the First Amendment's Establishment Clause, to which the states themselves are subject. Do this for Islam, and you must do it for every other faith. It would seem prudent to avoid the controversy. That said, I invite the sponsors of the bill to withdraw it with a view to returning it to the floor of the legislature just as soon as Christian Heritage Month is approved and celebrated in Tehran, Baghdad, Kabul, Islamabad, Riyadh, Damascus, Cairo, Istanbul, Tripoli, Algiers, Tunis, Khartoum, and other Muslim capitals. I urge the legislature to listen to the people of Nevada and reject this bill. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Welcome. And sir, I don't know if you'd like to vacate the seat just in case we have other people that would like to join us.
Penny Brock, for the record, B-R-O-C-K. I strongly oppose this bill. My great-great-great-grandfather, going back to George Washington's time of the Revolutionary War, marched behind George Washington. He had no shoes on his feet when they crossed the Delaware that winter. This is an insult to those of us with our American heritage. This is just outrageous. I find it an insult by those that introduced this bill. We are Nevadans. We are battle-born. We cherish our American heritage and we want to preserve it. We do not want any other peoples to supersede our American heritage of July 4th, and July is our American Heritage Month. I listened to the first hearing on this bill, and the Muslim co-sponsor, I'm surprised she's not here today, but she said, we really need this bill passed so we can get into public schools. We don't allow religions into our public schools, but this is where they'll go next. This cannot be allowed. This needs to stop right here. The committee, you're all Americans. Please vote no on this outrageous bill and preserve our wonderful, beautiful American heritage. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. My name is Jesus Marquez. I'm the Executive Director for the American Christian Caucus, representing organizations and churches that mobilize to get involved civically in the state of Nevada. I respectfully urge you to vote no on AB 278. This bill will designate a full month, the month of July, as Muslim Heritage Month. The first time in Nevada's history that a full month will be granted for any religious identity. Yes, certain faiths have had a day recognized, but never a full month. This is a different from cultural months, such as Hispanic Heritage Month, which honors diverse groups, not a specific religion. Muslim is a faith. Endorsing one religion for a month creates a dangerous precedent and violates the principles of neutrality in government. We're not here to oppose people or any religion. We're just here to defend the principle that state should not elevate one religion over others. Please vote no on AB 278. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Whoever wishes to go next in Las Vegas.
Hello, Devin Livesey, Devin Livziey, Vice Chairman of the Clark County Republican Party. There is approximately 20 to 30,000 Muslims in Nevada. There's not an exact count. There's approximately 770,000 Catholics living in Nevada. There's approximately 89 to 90,000 Jewish individuals living in Nevada. To single out one religious group over any other groups, as was just said, states a precedent that I think is not proper. If we want to give a day, or if you want to go by region, Middle East, whatever it happens to be, that's quite a bit more acceptable. We only give our veterans a day. We give our veterans who have died in the line of service a day. I think it would be inappropriate to continue to honor our own people who have fought and died for this country and then allow any specific religion to have an entire month. For that reason, I strongly oppose this bill, and I hope that you vote the same way. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lynn Chapman, Lynnchapman, and I'm the state treasurer of the Independent American Party and also a 15-year member of the American Legion Auxiliary, and I'm representing both today. You know, the Catholics and the Jews and the Mormons and the Christians, they've all had, there are all these different religions that have had threats and hatred and bigotry against them in our American history at one time or another. You know, if you're going to be doing one religion and promoting that for a whole month, there's going to be problems, I think, down the road. How about having an American Heritage Month in July, because that's when, of course, we celebrate July 4th, but a whole month for American Heritage, because right now we get one day. If you're going to pass this bill, you really need to pick another month, because July is when we have celebrated our country, our heritage, our culture, along with our founding and our freedoms, and we've celebrated them for 249 years. Vote no on AB 278. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Flores and members. My name is Jim DeGraffenreid, JIMDEGRAFFENREID. I'm Nevada's Republican National Committee man here on behalf of the Nevada Republican Party in opposition to AB 278. The Republican Party platform states that we support legal immigration and assimilation. The very backgrounds of the legal immigrants that make up the melting pot of America have always been a part of our strength. However, we have concerns with the timing on this bill. We would point out that Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey has introduced Senate Resolution 534 in the United States Senate to designate January as Muslim American Heritage Month. And in January of 2025, he co-sponsored House Resolution 61, which is sponsored by Andre Carson, Democrat of Indiana. These resolutions align with the efforts of the Muslim American Heritage Organization, which also denotes January as the month of recognition. More info is on their website at muslimamericanheritage.org. We greatly appreciate the words of Senator Ellison, who for years has personally financed Elko's Independence Day fireworks. July is the month when we celebrate America's independence, and that month should be reserved as a month to celebrate our unique and unified American heritage, which makes July an inappropriate month for this recognition or for any other individual group. Most Nevadans understand this, and that's why 88% of the nearly 500 opinions on the legislative website are in opposition to AB 278 in its current form. We appreciate the sponsor's effort in proposing this recognition, but respectfully suggest that the traditional month of January is a better choice and request that the committee oppose this bill in its current form. Thank you.